The major difference between BurdaStyle magazine patterns and envelope patterns from the major pattern companies is that Burda magazine patterns have to be traced. There's no way around it. And I'm not going to lie, tracing these patterns is not the most fun part of sewing them. The pattern sheet can be downright scary. But with practice, even a Burda-phobe can master tracing the patterns and possibly turn into a Burda file. I'm tracing number 123B from the June 2017 issue of BurdaStyle. Here are the tools I use. I like the Drit Styling Design Ruler because it has both a curved and straight edge in one ruler. Although sometimes I do use separate straight and curved rulers. A pencil and eraser. I normally don't use it, but I keep a highlighter handy. And finally, I use a geometric compass to add seam allowances. The most important tool is the instruction sheet. It contains information vital to the tracing process. First, the pattern overview box. This box identifies the section of the pattern sheet where the pieces are located. In my case, black pattern lines on sheet A. The pattern sheet is divided into 4 sections labeled A, B, C, and D. I cut the sheet in half along the cutting line and use only the identified section, Section A. The box tells me the pieces needed for this top are numbered 21 through 26. Each size has a different style line, and my size has zigzag lines. To find the pattern pieces to be traced, I find the numbers printed in black along the edge of the pattern sheet. Then scan up or down to find the matching number within its corresponding piece. Now let's talk about tracing paper. I like to use sketch paper purchased by the roll from art supply stores. Sometimes I use Swedish tracing paper, which has the same transparency as the sketch paper, but is a little more sturdy and can even be sewn together for fitting. I locate the lines for my size on the pattern piece, the black zigzag lines in this case. This is where one might use the highlighter to make the piece easier to see. I cut a piece of tracing paper to a manageable size and cover the piece I'm tracing with the paper. I use pattern weights to hold everything in place. I use the ruler to trace all of the lines on the pattern piece, matching the curved lines to the curved part of the ruler when necessary. I transfer all of the information to the trace piece, including any identifying information. Burda uses straight seam lines for grain lines, so I use a ruler to transfer the grain line to a more visible spot. I trace all of the pattern pieces. Burda magazine patterns do not include seam allowances. I think that's what scares some sewers away, but adding the seam allowances with a compass is easy. I spread the points of the compass 5/8 of an inch apart, or whatever the seam allowance will be. I trace around the pattern piece with the compass point on the seam line while the leaded point draws the cutting line. Hem allowances are treated the same way. From this point, BurdaStyle magazine patterns are treated just like any other pattern. Cut apart the pattern pieces, lay them out on the fabric, and cut out. I encourage everyone to try a Burda magazine pattern. You never know. You just might find a new favorite pattern company.